Hi everybody, I am Savannah, as all you guys know. Sorry if I sound kind of off. I am pretty sick. I haven't been posting. Give me a second, my dad's calling me. Sorry everybody, my dad was calling me because we are cleaning up for Christmas. Because on Christmas Day, like Christmas the 25th, we decided to have it together as a family, just by ourselves, and on Christmas Eve, sorry, I'm out of breath because I've been pretty sick. And on Christmas Eve, we do Christmas dinner with my family. Also, I'm here today to talk about eczema. Okay? And as some of you guys know, some of you don't know, I've struggled with eczema my entire life. I also just want to, I'm gonna show you guys. I have all my notes right here because I have a scatterbrain, so I've recently been diagnosed with ADHD, and I tend to drift off into other things. But anyway, I've lived with eczema for most of my life. It started off when I was very little, disappeared for a couple of years, then came back during one of the hardest periods of my life. Since then, it's spread and got worse. This video isn't just about skin, it's about how trauma, stress, and mental health can show up on the body and what it's really like to live with it. And I'm sorry, I'm getting really hot wearing a sweater, but I can show you what eczema can look like because I have eczema on my arms. Let me just take this off. But I have eczema here going up my arm, here going down my arm. It's on both sides. I have eczema on my back. Right here, it's starting to develop on my chest. It is on my hand. It's starting to come on this hand. It's also on my eye, but you can't really see it. I will also show a couple other photos when I'm explaining of what it could look like, what I've had to struggle with, and it's something. So eczema looks and feels like intense itching, often worse at night. I've struggled with that a lot, like especially for the past couple of nights. My eczema is horrible at night. It's dry, it's rough, it's flaky skin. It's red inflamed patches. So like you notice how this one is like insanely red. This one's not as bad. This one doesn't seem to be as bad because this one isn't as bad. This is my one I struggle with really often. And it's been getting worse because it's going right here now. But this is what eczema can look like. Skin that may ooze, crust, or thicken over time from scratching. Like, I have that right here where it's oozing and it's real pain because it hurts. And common areas are your hands, your inner elbows, right here, behind your knees, which I have, your face, your neck. I also have right here on my neck. And then on your wrist, I actually don't have it on my wrist. I have it on my fingers, everywhere else but my wrist. Like I also have one right here, you guys can see. I used to have it all over my face. It was pretty bad. There are different types of eczema. The most common is atopic dermatitis, but there are also other types. There's contact dermatitis, which is reaction to something touching the skin, which could be soap and nickels, perfume. Like mine seems to get worse with perfume, so that's kind of annoying because I wear perfume a lot. I don't know how to read the word, but I'll put it right here. It's a small itchy blister on your hands and your feet. I don't have that. There's I can't read, so I'll just put the words right here. Eczema. People say eczema or eczema. Totally I don't know. It's coin-shaped patches, which I'm pretty sure which is what this might be, but I don't think so. And then there's another type of dermatitis. It's oily, flaky areas, which is on your scalp and your eyebrows, which is, I have that, but it's not really on my eyebrows. It used to be right here, but it's mainly on my head. Also, the reason my head kind of looks very shiny today is wash day, and I just put gel in my hair because I have to go to work. There are many different causes for eczema. So what causes it? Eczema doesn't have like a single cause. Like there's no single cause of what could happen, but it's usually a mix of genetics, could often run in your family, overreactive immune system response, skin barrier problems, so your skin loses moisture easily, triggers such as stress, cold or dry weather, hot showers, soaps, detergents, fragrances, allergens, dust, pet dander, pollen, and certain fabrics like wool. Those could be triggers. For me, it's stress, the cold weather, fragrances, and sadly my pets, but I love my pets. I don't think I've ever had any reactions to like wool or anything like that. But yeah, this next topic can be a little bit off, but is eczema related to mental health? Yes, the stress and emotional distress can trigger often flare-ups, and living with eczema can also affect your self-esteem and sleep because of the itching. So there's no really, it's not like, oh, if you have eczema, you have mental health problems. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it could lead to something, or it could trigger something. Like for me, I've had very bad anxiety since I was a kid, and when I get very stressed out, because I've been very stressed lately, that's why my arms are kind of flared up. I've been stressed about some family stuff, and it's been getting worse. But there are treatments and managements. There's no cure for this. This is a chronic skin disorder, chronic disease, not disease, chronic. I hate the word disease because this is not contagious. And that's something I've been asked a lot, but there are treatments. There's daily moisturizing, which could be thick fragrance-free creams or ointments. Topical, like steroids for during flare-ups. I can't spell words. There's avoiding like triggers. I know it's really hard to avoid stress, but there are things like you can avoid, like, if there's certain food, or if there's like a certain smell, or certain like nickels, like fragrances, blah, blah, blah. Gentle skincare, like lukewarm showers and mild soap. There are sometimes things that doctors can prescribe you for itching. That's only sometimes. In severe cases, there's prescription creams, light therapy, and biological medications. Biologic medication, sorry. I say biological instead of biological. So there's a time, like if you're noticing small signs of eczema, these are the signs of when to see a doctor. If it's painful, infected or spreading, if over-the-counter treatments aren't working, if it's affecting sleep or daily life. Like for me, since I've had eczema forever, there's been like no, there's no cure, there's nothing, but mine's been spreading really bad. But I've been to dermatologists here, I've been to the doctor several times for the stuff, but I'm not being taken seriously. So I'm kind of in a bad spot. Stress and eczema are closely connected, and they can feed into each other in a pretty frustrating cycle. There are reasons how stress can make eczema worse. So stress triggers inflammation. So when you're stressed, your body releases hormones like something and adrenaline. I'm putting the words here because I can't read. I also need to zoom this in a little bit because I'm a little more blind. I don't have my glasses today. I don't like my glasses. There's short-term cortisol, which helps control inflammation, but chronic stress throws this system off, leading to more inflammation in the skin. This inflammation equals redness, swelling, and itching. And that's what I'm starting to get right now a little bit because I'm just very stressed. It's the holidays. I've had stuff going on with work and family. Stress also weakens the skin barrier. So stress can reduce the skin's ability to hold on to moisture. When the skin barrier is weakened, your skin can dry out faster. It gets like irritants get in more easier. Flare-ups become more frequent and harder to heal. And that's what I'm dealing with, because I had eczema from when I was little to about 7 years old. It disappeared for years. I had a really hard time in life, and then it came back after I got out of the hospital for something that happened to me because I got really sick, and then it's been getting worse. I've had it for almost 2 years now. it's kind of a pain. So stress increases itching a lot. So stress often makes nerve endings in the skin more sensitive. That means you itch more intensely. That's why mine bleeds a lot, because I itch so intensely. You're more likely to scratch without realizing it. I do that a lot. And then scratching also damages the skin, which leads to more inflammation and more itch. The itch is the itch and scratch cycle. And that's what I'm starting to get right now. And also, stress disrupts your sleep. Poor sleep raises stress hormones even more. Less sleep also means slower skin repair, lower tolerance for itch and pain. This is why eczema often feels worse at night during stressful periods. And like, it's hard to actually try and calm your body down when stuff like this happens. And I totally understand that. It's not your fault. It's not your fault, okay? It's not your fault. It's really not. You know what? You matter, and your skin does not define you, okay? I'm sorry, I have a lot of stuff to talk about, because eczema is something I've struggled with my self-confidence and my self-esteem. It's affected my mental health, and you know what? I feel like it's important to talk about. Okay, so then there's also the stress. The stress you have also affects immune response. So eczema involves an overreactive immune system. Stress can push. Sorry, I have a lisp and a stutter. So if you don't understand my words, I am very sorry. Can push the immune system into overdrive, making the body react more strongly to triggers like allergens, sweat, or fabrics. I've noticed that with sweat for me, it makes all of my stuff even worse. The stress eczema cycle. Stress causes a flare causes itching, discomfort, embarrassment, or sleep loss. That increases stress. The flare lasts longer or gets worse. Breaking the cycle is key to management. What actually helps, not just relax. I'm being realistic. This is not just to be just relax. I'm being realistic here. Constant moisturizing, especially during stressful periods. Short, lukewarm showers. Hot water worsens stress-related flares. Barrier repair creams with this word. I don't know words. Okay. When I'm reading stuff, I end up understanding the words, but for some reason right now my brain's horrible right now. Mind-body techniques that reduce skin nervous system activation. So deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, gentle movement for walking and stretching. Keep your nails short or wearing cloth gloves at night. I need to start doing that because my nails are long, and I also wear fake nails a lot. So treating flares early instead of waiting. That's a really good sign. Something really sad to talk about when it comes to eczema is the emotional side, which is very, very important, and we're going to talk about that right now. Stress-related eczema isn't in your head, and it's a real. I think I'm starting to get eczema on my wrist now, guys. I'm not saying it right now because I've been having problems with my wrist, but I don't have anything there. It's mainly on my inner elbows and my back and my shoulder. It's a physical response to emotional strain. Many people notice flares during breakups, school or work pressure, trauma reminders, and major life changes. And that can cause problems. Eczema can affect mental health in very real and heavy ways, especially when it's long-lasting and severe. It's not just a skin issue. It can quietly impact how someone feels, thinks, sleeps, or sees themselves. And I can speak off of my own preference. I used to be very insecure about my skin. I still kind of am. I'm trying not to be, but there are things that people say that will ruin my, everything. People will ask if it's contagious. People don't want to sit next to me because of my skin, or people will ask me to cover up because they don't like my skin and they don't want all people to be staring at me because they're right there on my arms. Constant itch and discomfort can weigh you down. Living with relentless itching, burning, or pain keeps the body in a stressed state. It's hard to relax when your skin never feels comfortable. You know, that's why sleep is often affected. Chronic discomfort can lead to irritability, exhaustion, and a low mood. That's what I've been struggling with lately because I have been barely sleeping because of my eczema. Over time, this can contribute to anxiety or depression. And, you know, like, it's hard to live with something this chronic, especially for me. Like, I've been living with it my whole life, and it's horrible. Your nervous system doesn't really get to have a break, and it's kind of sad. Sleep disruption often affects emotional stability. Eczema itching often gets worse at night, like I've said, and that's why it could often affect your emotional stability. Your poor sleep can equal worse mood regulation. Lack of sleep increases anxiety, sadness, and emotional sensitivity. It also lowers your ability to cope with stress the next day. So many people don't realize how much of their mental health struggle starts with sleep loss. That's something. Visual flare-ups can often affect your self-esteem. So since mine are pretty visible, I've had a lot of problems with self-esteem. That's why I wear my hoodies, because I don't like having visual flare-ups. Even when I'm in a cooking class at my school, so when I get really itchy, I feel like people won't want me there cooking with them because, you know, it's kind of hard to cook with your class if you have things on your arms. So when eczema is visual on your hands, your hands, your face, your neck, or your arms, people may feel embarrassed or ashamed, or they might feel different. You are not different. You are beautiful the way you are. There's a fear of being stared at or judged, which can lead to social anxiety. I hate when people stare at me. I often feel really embarrassed, like when I'm driving with people or I'm driving with my parents or people in my family. People often tend to stare at my arm right here, and it really annoys me. Some people actually avoid mirrors, photos, videos, or social situations. Myself, personally, I do not like taking pictures of myself or videos, but I've been getting a lot more used to it because I like taking videos of people because I like remembering things, but I struggle with seeing myself in a mirror or a phone because I have a mirror right behind this thing because I talk with my hands a lot and I get distracted really easily. This stuff, like eczema and all this stuff that weighs down your mental health, can also lead to isolation, even from people they really care about. Because it's like you don't want to feel embarrassed about your skin, and you don't want to, you know, like I'm having a flare-up right now on my wrist. Can't really see it, but that's because I've been stressing recently. The stress eczema cycle fuels anxiety. So stress and mental health often trap people in a loop that goes from stress to eczema flare to itching and pain and embarrassment, and that increases stress, which also leads to a worse flare-up. And this can create a feeling of loss of control, which is a big driver of anxiety. And it sucks. Like my heart goes out to everyone who struggles with this stuff because it's chronic and it can go away, but it can come back worse. You never know. If you had this when you were young and it went away, I'm very happy for you. My heart goes out to everyone who has struggled. Sorry, we are cleaning up for Christmas dinner, and I am in the bathroom talking to you guys because I needed to do this because I felt like it was my mission today to talk about something that really hurts me inside. And it really hurts because people don't want to sit next to me. They don't want to, socialize with me. And I often isolate myself because I feel really, really bad about my skin. But this is none of your control. Your skin is reacting to something that's really stressing you out. And that proves that you're going through a lot. And now I might have to sneeze. Okay, now I don't have to sneeze. You could feel misunderstood, which can make it worse. Because eczema is just skin. People sometimes hear, stop scratching. It's not that bad. Just use lotion. Which can make them feel dismissed or minimized, which can lead to emotional invalidation, frustration, or feeling alone with the struggle. Like, I've heard several times from friends be like, stop itching, stop itching. And I'm like, it's a chronic problem. It's a chronic thing and I can't stop scratching. Like, it often made me feel very isolated and alone. And I don't want you guys to feel that way. You are perfect the way you are. You're stressed and you are valid. This whole thing is valid. Chronic illness fatigue, eczema often requires constant monitoring, daily treatments, avoiding triggers, and planning around flare-ups. This is a chronic illness, not chronic illness, but a chronic skin problem, and it will never be cured. Maybe someday when I'm dead, but this is something that really can weigh someone down. That mental load can often cause burnout, especially in teens and young adults. Like, for me, I've been burnt out for a long time because of this. I've been getting my mood and everything back into order, but it really is hard. People who struggle with eczema often have a higher risk for anxiety and depression, which hurts. Research consistently shows people with eczema have higher rates of anxiety, depression, low self-worth, and stress-related disorders. My lisp is horrible. I'm sorry, guys. But it's important to know if eczema is affecting your mental health, that it is valid. You are valid, and I love you. It doesn't mean you're weak or overreacting. It means your body and mind are under chronic strain. And you matter. You matter. What eczema, if you're struggling with eczema, you are valid. And you know what? If eczema is affecting your mental health, there are supports that help many people, which can treating flare-ups early and consistently, improving your sleep routines, stress management that calms the nervous system, and talking to someone who understands, which could be a doctor, a therapist, or a trusted person. My bad. I'm editing that out. I'm sorry, guys. I had to sneeze and I had to cough and all in between. Eczema can affect someone's self-esteem deeply and quietly, especially when it's visible, chronic, and misunderstood. For many people, it changes how they see themselves and how safe they feel being seen by others. That is something that a lot of people struggle with eczema. Like, I have to sneeze again. Sorry guys, I had to sneeze. It looks like I'm crying now. I'm not crying. I just had to sneeze. Okay. This can also lead to feeling different or flawed. When your skin looks inflamed or scalpy or damaged, you may feel like your body is betraying you. People can internalize the idea that something is wrong with them. Even during clear periods, there can be fear for the next flare-up. Like for me, this can chip away at your confidence over time. For me, like you see how one of mine is doing worse than the other, but at the same time, they look like they're both struggling. My left arm struggles a lot more than my right arm, but I often feel like I'm being misunderstood by people because people keep constantly telling me to not itch it and, just stop that, like, use this, use that. And I'm like, I can't, because you know what, it'll just get worse. I even went to a dermatologist and I felt like I was so misunderstood and not seen by the dermatologist because he kept saying, he kept feeling my skin, it's just dry. Gave me something which made it worse. And I honestly felt very misunderstood by a dermatologist who studied for skin. I tried the stuff. It made my skin get better over in the summer because I go outside to go walk back to my cabin from the doctors, not the doctors, from our med bay at our camp, all the way back. And then by the time I'd be back, it'd be already dry. But during the winter, I can't go outside and go walk around for 10 minutes, forget to dry my skin because it's very oily. And it made it worse. So, visual skin draws unwanted attention. That's something I really hate because, like, as you can see, it's all over my back. If you can't really see, it's because, I'm sorry, my lighting's horrible. but it draws unwanted attention. Eczema on the face, your hands, your neck, or arms is hard to hide, and it could lead to stares, questions, or comments. Even well-meant comments can feel humiliating. Some people often worry others think it's contagious or due to poor hygiene. This can lead to self-consciousness and hyper-awareness to your appearance. And it sucks because you know what? You matter, and your skin does not define you on who you are at all. It can lead to avoidance and shrinking your life. To protect yourself emotionally, people often, avoid wearing short sleeves like I'm doing right now, swimsuits, mirrors, skip social events, dates, or photos, or even pull away from touch or intimacy. Myself, I don't like touch or intimacy. Intimacy. I hate English. Intimacy. I don't like any of that stuff because I am I'm not very fond of my skin, and that's okay. I'm learning to start to get better. Over time, this avoidance can lead to someone feeling smaller and less visual, reinforcing low self-worth. And you know what? Your skin should not, evolve around your self-worth because, you matter. And it sucks. And also, eczema can also appear on your ear because that's what I'm having right now. That's why I'm pinching it. Internalized shame from repeated comments is really hard for people with eczema to hear because you're constantly hearing things like, just stop scratching that, have you tried lotion? It doesn't look that bad. But the thing is, you don't really know how bad it is because some people don't struggle with it. And it's sad, and it can make someone feel invalidated or blamed for their condition, leading to shame and self-doubt. And that's not okay. If someone makes a comment on your skin, tell them straight up, you know what, can you please not comment on my skin? I do not appreciate it. And even if it's well meant, say, please don't comment on my skin, unless you are fine with what they said. But personally, for me, I don't like when people comment on my skin. When I'll come out of the bathroom sometimes, or come out of my room, my mom will be like, oh, my poor baby, look at your skin. And I'm like, please don't comment on my skin, please. Because I don't, as much as I love my mother for what she says, I don't like when people comment on my skin. This can also lead to a loss of control, and it can affect identity. Eczema flares can come and go unpredictably, and not being able to fix your skin can create feelings of helplessness. People often tie their worth to having good skin days, and confidence becomes conditional instead of stable. And that sucks. It can impact during formative years, and children and teens often. Eczema can be extremely damaging because it can cause bullying or teasing can occur. Body image is still forming, and negative beliefs, thinking, oh, I'm ugly, I'm gross, can stick into adulthood. And I've even been bullied for having eczema. As much as I still, my body image is still forming, I do not feel really proud of myself, and I used to think I was really gross. Sometimes I still struggle with it, but I'm like trying to remind myself, it's my body, because I've been through a hard life, and stress is my main trigger, so it's fine. Compromised culture makes it harder. Social media and beauty standards emphasize flawless skin. Constant comparison can intensify feelings of this word. I don't know English. I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm even mild eczema can feel huge in comparison. Something important to remember: eczema affects skin, not worth. But when you live with it daily, this discretion can feel hard to hold on to. Things that help rebuild self-esteem for people who struggle with eczema are separating who you are from what your skin does, finding safe people who don't minimize your experience, and focusing, like, my stupid thing, focusing on care and comfort and not perfection. I'm sorry, my thing keeps going all over the place. I'm trying to memorize everything. Reminding yourself that skin conditions are common and human. Skin conditions are really common. You know what? It's human. It's your body. A lot of people struggle with eczema. You know what? I have not seen one person who struggled with eczema except my counselor of 6 years. My counselor who I met in middle school and now is also in my high school. I've known her for 6 years. Actually 7. Sorry. I had to. But I've known her for 6 or 7 years. Because I've known her in school for 6 years, but I've known her for 7 years because of my brother. Change the way you talk to yourself. This matters more than it sounds. During flares, many people think I look disgusting, everyone's staring, I'm embarrassing. Try replacing those with neutral and grounding statements, not forcing positivity. You could say my skin is having a hard moment. I am not. This is uncomfortable, not shameful. People notice far less than my anxiety tells me. A lot of people don't actually, like, if someone's staring at you, it's not because, like, your skin or you're not wearing makeup. They could be like, I feel like I know you from somewhere, or your hair is very pretty, or like your eyes, like your eyelashes, you look gorgeous, or something you could be wearing. Like, it's not always about your skin. But people notice less than what our anxiety tells us. And you're not lying to yourself. You're removing cruelty from the inner dialogue. And that's normal. That's normal. And 2, you can separate your identity from your skin. Eczema can trick your brain into merging appearance with worth. Replace this mental, like, separation. I have eczema equals I'm ugly, you're broken, or worthy. Your skin is an organ. Replace the mental, like, separation of you thinking you're ugly or broken or worthless because you have eczema. Your skin is an organ reacting, not a reflection of who you are. It can help to name it externally. My eczema is flaring. Instead of saying my eczema is flaring today, and you could say my eczema is flaring today instead of saying I look awful today. The small language shifts, like, create a distance, which is very good. I just realized how long this is, but this is something to talk about, and it's a major problem, and that's fine. People often respond to comments so they don't catch you up. Prepare responses to comments so they don't catch you off guard. Having something ready gives you control, shorten confidence. Like, it's eczema, not contagious. It's a skin condition. I'm okay. Boundaries, I don't feel like discussing my skin. I'm managing it with my doctor. Light deflection, yeah, my skin likes drama. I like using that one because my skin does like drama. You don't owe explanations, but preparation prepares your confidence. Wear clothes for comfort, not hiding. There's a difference between self-care and self-assure. Choosing fabrics that feel safe, like soft cotton or looser fits. Avoid punishing yourself by covering up out of shame. Like, you know what? I love myself. Sometimes I don't, but here I am in PJ pants. You can barely see them. And a tank top. I was wearing bare slippers to match these, but I took them off because I was kind of slipping all over the place. If you wear something revealing but feel anxious, try wearing it for a short, safe outing or building tolerance slowly. Confidence grows through exposure with kindness and not forcing yourself. And you know what? That's completely okay. I sometimes don't like wearing short stuff either because I feel like my eczema looks bad today. But that doesn't mean I look bad today. My skin likes drama. Create safe social spaces. Confidence doesn't rebuild everywhere at once. Spend time with people who don't comment on your skin is something you could do. Limit time with those who minimize or fixate on it. Online or in-person support spaces can be a powerful reminder that you're not alone or abnormal. Because you are perfect the way you are. Like, sorry, I'm very sick. Kind of sick. Somewhat sick. Being seen without judgment repairs your self-esteem. And that's what I've been doing. I stick with people who don't comment on my skin, and I limit time with people who minimize it or fixate on it. Like, people sometimes are like touching my skin, they're like, what is this? And I'm like, can you not? Anchor your worth in things eczema can't touch. On flare days, focus on qualities eczema can't take, like your humor, your kindness, your creativity, and your resilience. You write them down if needed. Flare-ups, I think my dad's dropping stuff. Flare-ups destroy like perception. Reminders bring it back into focus. Ow, my stomach. Sorry, I'm in pain. My stomach hurts. Treat emotional pain as real pain. If your eczema is affecting your confidence, your relationships, or your desire to be seen, that's enough reason to seek emotional support. A therapist, counselor, a trusted adult isn't too much. It's appropriate. One last thing, which is very important. You don't need to love your skin to respect yourself. You don't need confidence every day to be worthy. And you don't need clear skin to deserve softness and connection or love. If you want, I can help you with what to do on really bad flare-up days, or confidence scripts, like not confidence scripts, but like confident ways to help yourself for school or work, healing shame after years of comments, or gentle affirmations that don't feel fake. I can help you guys with those because, you know what, myself, I still struggle, but I will always be here to help you guys out. If you are watching this and you struggle with eczema or with your mental health, I want you to know that your body isn't failing you, it's responding. And healing isn't linear, and neither is your skin. You deserve care, patience, and compassion. And that's something that you need to know, especially from yourself. You're not weak for struggling, and you're not alone in this. You are not alone in the struggle with mental health or your skin, because you matter, and there are a lot of other people in the world who could struggle. You can't even tell. Like, social media can paint it to be like, oh, this, like, everyone there has, you know, such good skin, or that, you know, I'm ugly because I have bad skin. No, because you are valid, you are gorgeous, and like, your skin doesn't define who you are. And you know what? It's you deserve kindness, compassion, and patience from yourself. And that's something I want you guys to realize, is that you matter and you're not alone in this. If you want, you guys can comment on things that you guys want to hear about next. If you just want to comment to, you know, ask how, you know, I can help you with your confidence a little bit, or healing shame from years after comments, or even just here to provide emotional support. And I'm not a licensed therapist, so I can't help you in certain things, but I am a very good listener, and I'm always here to have a listening ear for you guys, because I believe you guys matter, and you guys do matter. And it's taken me years of realizing that my skin doesn't affect my self-worth. And you guys matter, and I love you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.